Hi, my name is Jason Morgan. I'm an artist. Welcome to my studio and also my YouTube channel. And I'm recording this on a Thursday, and that means I'm doing another book review. And I've recorded some really great books in the past. But you know what, this week I thought, let's do something different. I really wanted to show you my own book, my own ebook. How to Paint Animals is the most successful and downloaded one that I've produced so far. And I wanted to show you what I think is different about it than all the other books. What makes it special, and why I think you would love to read it. So let's take a look inside. And to start off with, why did I do it? Well, How to Paint Animals. Basically, every book that I've ever purchased in the past myself always has something major missing in it. Mainly, they start off, they show you the first one or two different step-by-step areas. They show you the initial blocking in, and then they jump right to the end where the painting is finished. All the details are in, the glazes is done, and you learn nothing from it at all. And virtually every book I had was so frustrating because they kept doing that. So I thought, why not do my own book? I'll do the exact thing, the exact opposite that they do. I'll show everything instead, and I'll really go to town on the step-by-steps and the details. So I've opened up my own book, How to Paint Animals. It's in Adobe Acrobat on Windows. I've opened it up in that program, but on Mac it'll open up in its own resident program, and there's loads and loads of free programs, and virtually every computer has got one already installed. So it's usually a case of just double click the file and up it opens. And the good thing with ebooks is you can zoom in. So you can really get into the detail and zoom in as much as you want, so you can see all the details and all the text. If you struggle to read things and find text too small, you can zoom in, and that's really good. You can do one page at a time. You can do multiple pages at a time. See, there's 2 pages at a time, and then down the side you've got thumbnail view. So it's just like an index in a normal book, but it's got little pictures, so you can see exactly where you're going to jump to. Really easy, simple to use. So let's start at the beginning. Got the cover, a little bit of a foreword, and then I jump right in with equipment. Now believe me, I use nothing special at all, nothing at all. I just use standard paints, thinners, a medium every now and again. Don't always use a medium, odorless paint thinners, standard brushes that don't cost much at all. There's nothing special about the brushes or anything like that. It's just practice with the technique really, and learning what you need to know with those techniques and how to build up a painting. And then that's where I start. I build up by telling you exactly everything from the pencil drawing all the way up to blocking in, under the tonal underpainting, blocking in, and then I start, once you've got that brief overview, I start really detailing my demonstrations. And the first one I'm doing is eyes, because everyone wants to create those glossy, real looking eyes, and I'll show you exactly how I do that. And then I've got what I believe is the most detailed step by step on painting fur. As you can see in the window, I go from the very first pencil sketch. I show you how I tone the canvas, how I take out the highlights to create that tonal underpainting, and then how I start building up the texture step by step. And you can see it coming alive, and the glossy eye, and it's really building up into the details. Then I cover glazing, and if I zoom in a little bit, you can see the brushes more easily, because it's really critical to start to get that extreme point on the brush, and that allows me then to get all these tiny little hair details, and that's my secret how I do it. It's the way I load the brush. And then I go once again into glazing, and there you can see how I'm using glazing to make it more three-dimensional. There's the finished painting. Looks like a section really cut out of that furry area. Then I go on to a full demonstration then of a snow leopard cub, but this time in a setting. It's important for you to know how to blur the background and create a setting. Just skipping through the pictures for you now, showing how I've made the rock really hard, how I've glazed to get the detail. Some more unusual subjects like bears. I wanted to show you that one, to show how I create the water. That was all done in one session, one easy painting. There's some more glazing techniques, building up fur textures. Like I say, I'm just jumping through. This is an interesting one, a snow leopard. Usually they're really difficult looking subjects. The important thing for beginners, well, for everybody, the important thing, get that underpainting dark enough. And I really go on in detail telling you about that so you can build up these details on top and the fur texture. If you don't get it dark enough underneath, and I see virtually every beginner and novice do the same mistake again and again because normal books just don't seem to show how dark you need to get the underlayers, and without that you're never going to get this type of detail on top. Okay, I've got elephants in there so you can see how I build up skin and wrinkles and details, and also how to get that foreground grass to pop with texture. I'll just jump through a few more pages to show you some more details from the book. There you can see how I've set up my easel. It's important to get a comfortable position with your back. Lifting out the tonal underpainting. I've got a really quick technique to show you. It's super easy using just a little bit of tissue paper. Here's a jaguar. Lots of people like to get that blurred background and they don't know how to get it in oils, and it's really easy. Once you've seen it once, you know exactly how you get that blurred out background. That really makes your subject pop forward then. Luxurious fur, thick fur. Fur you feel you can put your fingers inside and ruffle it up. That's what you want. But you can't usually do it all in one sitting. It's all about layers and building layers, but not making these layers too rigid and sharp with the details that they don't look soft enough to be furs. Something lots of people do. They have all these details, tiny little lines, but you need to have softness as well in there. Here's another subject. Here's a lion on a kill. I wanted to show you how I make things look glossy and shiny and wet. How to reflect that light. A tiger in moonlight, a subject you don't usually see in books, because it can be quite daunting thinking, I've turned this reference, it was a daylight reference, and I've turned it into a night scene. And I wanted to explain to you in the text there as well what I did to the colours to make that night scene. Just jumping through a little bit more. Here's a wolf. Real complicated looking fur that's simplified. And I'll zoom in again, just to show you some more detail. What's great about the ebook is you can move your images around so you can really see what you wanted, what you need to see. So that's a wolf. And then I'll jump forward a little bit more and I've got a zebra. Here's a complicated looking scene. I've really simplified how to paint reflections in the water. Simple techniques. When you read it, you wonder why you haven't been doing it all along. It's really easy. Telling you how I get that sunlight look like the baking African sun is really coming down on the top of the surface there. And then getting those details in as well. So even a complicated appearing scene can be simplified. And then at the end I finish off with some resources and also some more finishing notes and techniques and tips. So I'm talking about the fat over lean principle and varnishing. And what I'm trying to do is really demystify all these things that confuse so many people. Lots of beginners, they look at these books and they go over composition and they go over color theory and they go over it and over it to such a point that by the time you get to the end of the book, even I'm confused. And I think, well, at the beginning of the book I wanted to draw and paint, and now I've come to the end, I don't know where to start, and I'm so confused. I've got paralysis by analysis, as they say, and I give up. I don't bother. And that's the last thing I wanted with my book. I wanted you to be inspired enough that once you've read it, you couldn't wait to pick up the brushes and crack on and get painting. And I hope you've enjoyed this little walkthrough on my book. As I said, it's 130 plus pages. I think it's superb value, and it's got a money back guarantee, so I stand by my word. Hope you've enjoyed it. See you all again real soon. Hope you've enjoyed this short video. If so, you may like to go over to my website, jasonmorgan.co.uk. There I've got lots of full-length feature videos on techniques and tips. I've got ebooks. I've got 800 reference photos, all with the new Easy Trace line art, and so much more. So that's jasonmorgan.co.uk. Also on YouTube every Friday I've got Free Photo Friday. Every Thursday I'm doing art book reviews, and every Tuesday it's tips and also art product reviews. So don't forget to come back soon.